Media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Friday show, October 25th, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. We are absolutely packed today with football and fun.
Oh, yeah.
Great Braylon Edwards, the Hall of Famer. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
I'm just going to go ahead and set the tone, man. I know we haven't talked a lot about it this week, but today is Friday. The game is tomorrow. The rivalry renewed. I don't care what network it's on. It's all about the maize and blue. Big Ten, Michigan will win. Just throwing that out there. Let's get the party started early. Tom Mazaway, how you feeling?
I'm feeling
not as confident as me.
I'm feeling pretty darn good, but no, not confident at all. But I got the Yankees going tonight, and I'm not even confident in that. But it's a great time of the year, huh? Is it not a great time of the year?
It is, and there's so much, and I am interested in the World Series tonight. I am,
I'll be there.
Now that it feels like, okay, you've got a game tonight, Jack Flaherty versus Garrett Cole. Plenty of time to talk about that one. I do want to start, if I could, and good afternoon to you, Pete Spivak.
Good afternoon,
KG
young man.
in the house as well. We'll be looking forward to KG's picks.
Oh, yeah.
8-0 last week, or 7-0 last week. My goodness. You kidding me?
Don't blow his head up any more than it is, please.
Right.
Don't blow his head up.
You got to call it what it is.
Absolutely. But we'll start with this helmet right in front of me. Right, it's Michigan State week, and we've been doing shows all week. And outside of Wednesday, when we talked to our Wolverine Insider, brought to you by our friends at Skinny Butcher,
Alex Z.
we have not talked much about the Michigan State game.
Thankfully.
This game, Braylon Edwards, seemingly has lost much of the hype luster. When they kick off tomorrow at 7:40, I think it'll be back up to full bore. But
Big Ten Network.
Absolutely. But in the week leading up to it, it just feels kind of meh.
And it makes sense. Look, Michigan State's not a good football team, although they're feeling better about themselves. They weren't braggadocious as a fan base. Michigan obviously knows what their football team is. It's not a good football team. And to be honest, I think they're scared. I think it's downplayed because the University of Michigan is nervous about this game. And I'll go ahead and say it. Like, this could save the season in a sense. This season's already shot. Probably not going to be a playoff team. You lost to Texas. You lost again to Illinois last week. The only saving grace, you're going to lose to Oregon, you're going to lose to Ohio State. Only saving grace is you don't lose to that team in state, and that's Michigan State.
Right, you lose all of your goals.
You can lose
everything.
all the other ones.
National championship, playoff, Ohio State, Oregon, Big Ten championship. You don't want to lose your rivalry to Michigan State, too.
Still coming off that national championship. Look, there's many excuses we can use going into the offseason. There is not an excuse to lose to Michigan State. So I think it's picking up steam. That's because Michigan State knows they're in a pretty good position. In Michigan, they're very quiet because we don't know what's going to happen.
Look, guys, Michigan State's better than this Michigan team. I don't care how many draft picks Michigan has. I don't. This Michigan State team is better coached. They're more together, and they don't have guys bailing out. They want to win this game. This is their championship game. This is their bowl game. Michigan, this edition of the Michigan Wolverine team is an embarrassment. It is awful. And I think if you bring Pete's Bowling Green Falcons in, I think they would win the damn game, to be perfectly honest. I know you throw out all the records always, and these games are very close. And the spread is down to 4.5 now. It was 5.5, then 5. It's 4.5. It's ugly. 39.5 is the over-under. It's going to be an ugly game. I'm going to probably be forced to watch it. We have company coming over, big Michigan State fans from out of town. I would not have watched this game. I mean it. I didn't watch the Illinois game. I would not watch this game if I was not forced to.
It's an interesting take there, Maz, because I really cannot argue with what you had to say at this point. I watched Michigan State a couple of times, and they look like an absolute disaster at first, too.
They have a better quarterback.
Maybe these guys ain't so bad. And then you watch, and they are their worst enemy. The rate in which they turn the ball over, if they could clean that up, they might have an extra win or even two. But I do look at this game, and I'm like, okay, how is Michigan going to score? Because I think that is still yet to be determined. I do, after watching these 3 quarterbacks now, believe Alex Orji gives them the best chance to win the football game. Because at least he can run. If you have 3 quarterbacks that cannot throw, Braylon, but you have one that can run, at least you got that going for you, which is nice.
Yeah, I agree with the same thing. We started coming around to that yesterday. Look, Alex Orji gives him the best chance. He doesn't turn it over as much as the other 2 do. And then it gives you the RPO action, which still confuses young defensive players. But I'm gonna give some pushback on Michigan State. You guys act like this Michigan State team is showing you something amazing. They're a very okay team. And okay is being very kind. They beat Iowa, which was a good win. You saw what Iowa did to Washington. Iowa ain't good either. And the Big Ten's not good. Michigan State isn't good either. And Aiden Childs, oh, by the way, has he ever played in the big house? I don't care what this Michigan team is this year. It's still the big house. It's still maize and blue, and it's still less than a year off a national championship. So until I see Aiden and Marsh,
yep.
Until I see Childs and Marsh come in there and actually execute in the big house, in the rivalry, then I'll say, okay, cool. But let's not act like Michigan State is some world beater team, because they are far and few in between. And if you play Alex Orji, it gives you the best opportunity to win. The defense of Michigan is still better than the offense of Michigan State.
Not without Will Johnson.
Braylon, I agree with you too.
Still, defensive line. 100%.
No, but look,
yeah.
I agree with both you guys in the context of what you said. Because if you look at Michigan State compared to the upper echelon of the Big Ten, you're absolutely right. But I look at that football team and I look at our football team and I'm just, there seems to be a little bit more playmaking ability at the quarterback position and the wide receiver position. And that is why I kind of feel the way I do about this game, that it is a toss-up. If I'm looking at this game as an independent arbiter of just football watching, I probably say coin flip game. They play 100 times. Michigan State might win 57 of them. And Michigan might win, or not 57, 52 of them. It's so even, I feel like, because they have a playmaker at quarterback who does turn the ball over and a playmaker at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Those 2 elements alone set them apart from Michigan, because Michigan has no quarterback, no playmaking quarterback, and no playmaking wide receiver. That is where the difference for me comes in. Because Michigan State's defense can be horrible. If you don't have a quarterback on the other side that can throw it more than 3 yards down the field, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can't hit Colston Loveland on a 10-yard out.
And I agree with you in the sense that I said it came off the back. Michigan State's a better football team from what I've seen so far, so I agree with that. The other intangibles of playing in the big house, playing in the rivalry for the first time, what does this look like? But I will agree with Maz on this. That togetherness, that unity that Coach Jonathan Smith, not to be confused with John L. Smith, is doing, it does make a difference. You can see this team they're getting better by the game, if you will, so I can give you that. There's some unison there that it just doesn't seem like the team that should have all the unison regardless of who left. It doesn't seem like we have like that togetherness right now.
I just think I'm talking about this year. I think they're 2 teams going in opposite directions. That's all I got to say. I don't think the big house has anything to do with anything, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm embarrassed this year. The national championship, it's like it's so far back in my mind now that I don't believe what they've become. And it hurts. They're really not even a bowl team. I don't know what else to say.
Don't say you don't believe in the big house, because there was another team that was better than Michigan that came into the big house this year, and that was USC.
Right.
Yeah,
and USC in the 4th quarter, they realized what the big house was.
But Michigan was better then.
Yeah.
Remember, they had a better mindset.
True,
then.
they had Will Johnson in there.
And it's early in the year. They're like, we could turn this around.
Yeah.
This team's defeated.
And you know what? We're gonna find that. We're gonna find that out this week.
Yeah.
That part alone, we're gonna find that out. I don't necessarily disagree with you that John Smith.
That's why I always just say his full name so I don't mess it up.
I don't necessarily disagree with you that John Smith it feels like they are just methodically trucking along on a little bit of an incline, slight incline.
They were very bad last year. He has to improve them this year.
I do feel like Michigan is in scramble mode. Mm-hmm. They're just a little bit scattered, or a lot scattered. Look, what's their record? Michigan's record 4-3.
4-3.
They played 7 games. They've started 3 different starting quarterbacks.
Yep.
What team in Division 1A has started 3 quarterbacks not due to injury this year in 7 games?
UNLV.
I don't even know if they've started. I know what you mean. I don't know if they've even started.
2. It's been 2 with them.
I don't think there's a team in college football that has started 3 starting quarterbacks in their first 7 games that has nothing to do with injury. That, to me, says this is a program that is...
They're in free fall.
I don't want to say in shambles, because that's a big statement. But they are absolutely searching for something, KG.
No,
they don't know who they are right now.
Absolutely, and everything that everyone has said is correct. All things can be true with this team. We know what this season is, but with that aside, on paper, they are still the better team this weekend.
On paper, you're right, buddy.
Yeah, on paper, they are.
But they don't play on paper.
And if Aiden Childs has pressure on him, which our front 4 is still really good, if you can get pressure on Aiden Childs, we know what he's going to do with the football.
He's going to run for 150 yards.
No, he's going to turn the football over like we've seen, from interceptions to fumbles. He is a turnover machine. So I think that's the biggest key in this game. And like you said, yes, if they were to get their 4th loss to Michigan State, then we really have some questions to figure out, because you're staring 5-7 in the face, and we're really wondering whether Sharon Moore can even make it to next year. But as of right now, as it stands right now, Michigan has all the horses they need to beat this team offensive side.
As a Michigan fan, Ryan, and I've been a Michigan fan longer than you and Braylon, because I'm older. I didn't go there. I didn't play there.
By default.
Fair enough.
All right, but I am not a Walmart Wolverine. I'm a New Jersey Wolverine, because you had 2 teams to root for, Notre Dame or Michigan. I picked Michigan because that's what we saw every single week. I did shows with Bo Schembechler and Lloyd Carr in my career. I'm a Michigan guy all the way. And it pains me that I don't give a damn that it's Saturday afternoon anymore. Or this time it's Saturday night.
Which sucks, by the way. I am so over the night game.
Especially this game should be a noon game. Just get it over with.
Yeah, who you telling? I got to go work that damn game.
Is there anything worse than the night game?
When you have nothing to play for? No.
Even if you do have something to play for now. I think, years ago when the night game kind of kicked off with the ABC primetime, and you had Brent Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit or whoever he did the... That was like you were elevated. You were on prime time. You were the, you know what?
Remember when they shipped the lights in?
Absolutely.
Bring them in on a truck.
No doubt. Now I think it's absolutely seen as a downgrade, because you've got big noon kickoff, so that's the big noon game.
Mm-hmm. They don't always choose a good game. Like Michigan and Minnesota.
Well,
was on big noon kickoff
because
this
you're Big 10, Pac-10, or Big 12.
Yeah.
And then CBS now. I think the 3:30 game on CBS, even in the SEC years. I mean, those Alabama
big game.
Alabama 3:30 game. That was the big game, the CBS 3:30 game.
Let me ask you this. Last week was Georgia, Texas. That felt like a pretty big game to me. That was a 7:30 game.
No, yeah, it did. It was.
Bama, Georgia. That was another beautiful 7:30
Night games are great when you have 2 very good teams facing each other.
Facts.
Yeah, not Michigan.
I'd still rather it early.
You know what's on tonight after the World Series?
Rutgers and USC.
11 p.m. our time.
And I think it's in Jersey.
I don't know where it is.
No, it's in
USC.
Yo, just imagine this being USC. Who's coming to that game tonight? You got the Dodgers are playing tonight. The Lakers are playing tonight.
Yeah.
The Clippers are playing tonight. Somebody else may just
No,
playing
Clippers,
tonight.
they got a concert at Intuit.
That's what it is. They got a concert at the
I don't know how
amphitheater.
close the venues are, but maybe they go after the Dodger game, after the concert, after the hockey
they've been
game.
reporting
No,
that
it's
there's
11
going to
our time. So it's starting at 8 p.m. out there. That's prime time for
Yeah, but it's 5 o'clock there, baseball.
even still.
8 o'clock here.
They reported
we
earlier
got
that
basketball after that. Concerts after
If
that.
I'm there, I'm doing the double head or triple head.
Well, you know, LA, they're not even really trying to do
Right,
sports
you're not
events
even
like
getting out of
that
the parking
anyway.
lot.
not.
You're not even getting out of the parking
The party
lot.
comes next, man.
Right.
The party
In television contracts for these games are done months in advance, and I heard and I can't remember where I heard this from, but I heard that Fox many months ago. Oh, thanks, Brandon Edwards. What a guy. I dropped my pen and he slides one over. But I heard that Fox many months ago picked this game, USC and Rutgers, for their Friday night post-World Series matchup, just in case and in hopes of a Yankees-Dodgers World Series, because you have New York,
They're
LA,
gonna own it.
New York, LA,
They're going to own it.
with
That's
Rutgers and USC.
Fox Sports is second to none. Really, second to none.
They
Smart
are,
as hell.
yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens, guys. Thursday night football. Last night,
We're done with Michigan?
You got something else to say?
Yeah,
What?
they suck.
Good job, man. Good job.
I want them to lose.
Okay.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
There's a reason.
Why?
Why?
I don't want Sharon Moore back.
He wants Sharon Moore fired.
Well, I don't think he's getting fired after 1 year regardless.
I want him to lose the next 4 games.
If he goes under 500, then it's on the
I
table.
want him to lose the next 4 games.
That's
See,
where,
that's where you lose me.
That's where my fandom and your fandom become different.
Yeah.
Because regardless, don't get me wrong, we've had some terrible years. Look, I didn't like Rich Rod. Trust me, I had personal reasons not to like Rich Rod. Me and Jim Harbaugh naturally didn't always get along. Never rooting for Michigan to lose.
Yeah.
Never rooting for them to lose. That sounds
Especially
benign.
the state.
Especially the Michigan State.
Yeah, come on, dog.
Well, listen.
Maybe the rest of the games, but not state.
And they technically better.
It makes it even worse if you lose to them.
Let me
because
say-
it's
but it makes it worse
I'll
for
listen
me.
to you.
I
as a
came to
fan.
this town 31 years ago, and to me, the rivalry game, and I've been watching it forever. To me, it ain't Ohio State. I want to beat Michigan State more than I want to beat Ohio State because of the fandoms. To me, that's me. So to lose, for me to root, I'm not really rooting against them. If they lose, I'd be like, yeah, I knew they were going to lose. Great, they're going to lose to Northwestern.
Well, that's different
They're gonna
from what you
but
said.
listen, when my teams, and I'm sick, if I'm sick of Aaron Boone, which I've been sick of, and I'm sick of Brian Cashman of the Yankees, I don't even know how they scrapped
They
it
got to
together
a
and
World
made it to the
Series.
final here.
Here they are.
Had they not made it, trust me, I'd be leading the pack in New York. We'd all be looking to get rid of Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone. That would be
Y'all
the
still
first
gonna try to get rid of
freaking
him.
thing I'd want. So when I tell you I want my teams to lose, I'm not just telling you I want Michigan to lose. When I'm sick of my team getting their ass kicked, I want changes. And I don't see Michigan getting better next year. I just don't. Unless they put 30 new people in. And we know they ain't going to do that.
That's still another year of recruiting, though. We can't just count them out next year. That's all I'm saying.
Here's where
The cupboard was bare.
I understand that, but Sharon Moore is a solid recruiter. That's one thing we can say that he does.
How do you know?
Because he's recruited a lot of players that
he's
Michigan had when they
recruited
won
a
the
solid
championship. Sam still is one of his recruits.
Just got a 5-star the other day. What are we talking about?
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm just telling you how I feel.
I understand. What you said in the beginning is much different than how you finished, because if Michigan lost to Michigan State, I too probably would not lose any sleep over it. I'm probably not going to be all that bent out of shape about it, because I feel like I have a good grasp of where the program is in 2024, and it's not very good. But there is no way on God's green earth that I will root for them to lose to Michigan State, because even if they do, there will be no change at head coach after this year.
Yeah.
No matter what. No matter if they lose the rest of their games and get trucked by Ohio State, Sharon Moore is going to be the coach next year. And he should get another year, by the way.
I do
He
feel that
should
way.
get another year. The circumstances in which he took over were pretty extraordinary, I feel, this late in the season. And he's going to get another year. So by that alone, if you told me, Maz, that if they lose to Michigan State, it's guaranteed that Michigan will go do some national search and you get a accomplished head coach in at Michigan, I'd say, yeah, go for it. I'll take that trade all day, because I have rooted for the Lions to lose. I have rooted for the Pistons to
I'm
lose.
rooting for the Giants to lose.
Just last year, I was rooting for the Pistons to lose because I just didn't know how long you can keep going.
Right.
You know?
That's all I meant.
You know, I understand that. But I think when that happened, when you rooted for the Lions to lose back in the day, or you root for the Pistons to lose, etc., there was real change that was potentially on the horizon. That is at least a year and a half away.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me, how many wins do they have right now?
4.
So you're going to tell me Sharon Moore is going to take a national championship team, win 4 games the next year, and keep his job.
100%.
Well, then you're stupid.
Well, I'm not stupid.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the guys that run it. I'm talking about Ward Manuel and the people that run it. If you're going to run back a 4-win coach after a national championship, I got no respect for you, sports-wise.
Well, I understand. Look, I understand that, and I think a lot of people probably feel your way. Look, Sharon Moore, and I say this, I don't blame Sharon Moore for being the Michigan coach.
Right. Yeah.
I blame Ward Manuel for Sharon Moore being the Michigan coach and not having that list of 3 or 4 candidates that you pull out of your back pocket. Each and every year, you know Jim Harbaugh is flirting with the NFL. And by the way, he did that the year before with the Minnesota Vikings. So you should have really had the list because it's not like it was, just a surprise.
And like I've said before, you can fix this in 1 year if you just lean into NIL a little bit more. This can all go away.
But they don't, Kenny.
I know. I understand that.
Well, they haven't yet. Let's say they haven't yet.
Yes.
Now, this all changes with one quarterback.
Yep.
With one quarterback, this changes. So
you don't have anyone getting open either. You heard Braylon.
I understand.
You got a defensive back as your running back.
That to me is a big
come
deal,
on, man.
Braylon. How are these wide
Not just
receivers?
the quarterback.
So I don't want to say inept, but
Yeah.
is that the offensive coordinator? Is that the talent? Is that
I don't
both?
know. I was over here reminiscing on what it was like to win the Paul Bunyan Trophy last year and the year before because
we keeping it. Don't worry about it.
We may be having to give it up. No, I'm just
No, we gonna keep it.
You know what's not good? Go ahead.
No, it's a lot of factors. One, you don't have a quarterback. Look, there's offensive line that's very young, very inexperienced. Wide receivers with the same. Also, too, separation is killing those guys out there. The running backs are trying to do what they can, but it's not a lot of spots there. You got to have a guy at quarterback, and they just don't have that. Kirk Campbell also hasn't done them any favors. This merry-go-round of quarterbacks, starting this guy, then this guy, not even telling us about this guy, or you can't get any type of rhythm. Wide receivers don't know who to catch passes from. They don't know who to run routes with in practice. The offensive line, they can't get used to a cadence. They can't get used to a rhythm. The center's like every time I reach down, I got to get the ball to somebody else. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's tough. So I don't think anyone on the coaching staff has done those players on offense any favors.
You know what I traditionally don't like to mess with? History.
Yeah.
I traditionally don't like to mess with history.
Did you see that stat?
And here it is. I saw this from Clayton Safi.
Yeah.
It was, I think I'm saying his name right too, aren't I? Clayton Safi or Safi.
Right.
No Michigan coach in the last half a century has ever beaten Michigan State in their first year trying to beat Michigan State. In their first attempt,
it's 7 straight.
Not Jim Harbaugh, not Brady Hoke, not Rich Rodriguez, not Lloyd Carr, not Gary Moeller, not Bo Schembechler, not Jumbo Elliott.
Nice call, man.
That's such a weird stat.
Can you believe that?
That's a weird stat.
Not one of them.
Wow. That's a great stat by Clayton. Excellent stat.
So I don't know if that's a good indicator of what will happen on the field in Ann Arbor tomorrow night.
Well, since we're playing with, magic and voodoo, well, what do we talk about the Lions? The Lions, the streaks that they've broken this year. So maybe this is just a year from streaks. They broke the Seattle streak. Mm-hmm. They just broke the, what was the other streak before that? The Cowboys streak. Maybe it's Michigan's turn to break the Michigan State curse.
They'll break the Titans streak hopefully this week.
They better. We'll feed off some of that energy.
That's right. As far as college football goes, too, it is wide open, man. I think Texas was humbled last week by Georgia.
I didn't think anyone was going to beat them.
I didn't either.
Think so either. Yeah.
I didn't think anybody was going to beat.
I told you.
Well, I kind of thought Georgia might give them a game, but I didn't. I thought Texas was better than everybody else, and they are not. This thing is wide open when it comes to college football.
Is it wide open or is it between 4 teams?
It's wide open. Ohio State, Oregon.
But I think to Max's point, to Maz's point, shout out to Max. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Max. About Max's house. You got a chance to hang with Max a little bit on last Thursday. Got a chance to see you guys.
Your whole posse was there.
100%.
Texas, fun. Miami, Georgia.
I don't believe in Miami realistically. I believe in them to be a
good offense.
In between tier 1 and tier 2. If that makes sense. In between there. But I think it's going to be between those 4 teams: Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas, and I think those are the 4 teams that are going to get better from now to that process. Like,
what about Penn State? Where are you putting Penn State in here?
They not for real. They benefited from their
You know
schedule.
what? You know, Penn State and Miami can play. Like that to me is a perfect matchup. I think both of those guys, they're not built to go to the last dance, but they're built to get there. If you know, so I think they're equal teams. ACC, Big Ten.
You know who could be a quiet playoff team?
Pitt?
Nope. Although they could be.
Let me see.
Quiet playoff team?
Quietly.
If they're
You
quiet,
talking
then
Big
they're-
Ten?
Big Ten.
Big Ten?
Illinois? Indiana?
Oh, Wisconsin.
Indiana.
Indiana plays Washington this week.
They're gonna beat the brakes off Washington.
Then they play Michigan State and Michigan.
Beat the brakes off Michigan State.
They'll play at Ohio State, which is probably a loss. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's right.
it'd be interesting.
And then they play Purdue. You are looking at potentially an 11-1 Indiana team, be a top 10 team in the country.
Kurt Signetti was on with SVP last night.
Was he?
But then they fall into that Miami category. They're just not good enough to beat Georgia and Texas. Those guys are going to get better. Texas is going to figure out which quarterback they want to use. They're going to stick with him, and they'll rock and roll from there. Georgia's going to ride this information because they just sucked in the first half at the beginning of the year, and they played well in the third and fourth quarters. They get to start the right way. That defense was humming last week. I still think it's those 4 teams. They're going to be at the end.
We'll see.
It won't be Michigan.
No, it won't be Michigan this year.
What a year to have the 12-team playoff.
Yeah, no doubt.
Kind of almost perfect.
And what a year to not be in it as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
Every team feels like they had a real legitimate shot this year. And when you're Michigan coming off a national championship and you can't get it into the 12, hell, maybe you can't even get in a bowl game. We'll see.
You can't come off a national title and start a walk-on quarterback.
There's some,
All right, let me ask you this for a second. If Michigan loses to Michigan State, maybe they win a game or 2 after that,
5 and 7.
and then Ohio State beats them by 40, you're still bringing them back?
Yes.
Okay.
It should be on the table, though.
I rest my case,
If he
then.
were to go under 6-6, it should be on
I
the
rest
table.
my case. If you're going to get blown out by Ohio State and lose to Michigan State.
If I'm bringing them back is a much different question from if they're bringing them back.
Right.
I'm asking you to be them.
Oh, if I'm them,
Let's not act like Jim Harbaugh was beating Michigan State and Ohio State his whole first rattle out the box. So I'm not defending Sharon Moore, but I'm defending.
But he was
the fact.
winning at least.
He wasn't winning against Ohio State.
The
Michigan
problem
State.
is,
I get it, but he was
Braylon,
still winning
he was
8, 9,
still
10
9 to 10
games.
The
wins.
problem-
That's the only thing.
I
He was 9 to 10
understand that,
wins.
but you're talking about rivals. Don't switch it up.
Yeah, I don't even know about that. The thing for me with Jim Harbaugh that I always hung on to was he won everywhere else. You know, he won at San Diego, he won at Stanford, he won with the 49ers. So there was a track record, even though you're absolutely right, he was losing to Michigan State and Ohio State. You did feel some kind of way that you've seen it before. You've seen it at San Diego, you've seen it at Stanford, you've seen it at...
Well, that goes back to your initial point, then it's Michigan's fault.
Yes.
It's Michigan's fault for hiring this individual that you hadn't seen.
Yes.
But since you haven't seen it, then it wouldn't, to your point, it wouldn't be fair to fire him. Yeah, you put yourself in this dumbass position.
You have to believe that he's the guy. And I'm not sure if there's anything that Sharon Moore has done this year between the lines that really gives you a sense that, yeah, I see it. Yeah, that's the guy. Even though they're losing right now.
I'd agree with that.
Like, I mean...
I told you I felt about the Washington game.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he just let those guys just fall, and it was sad to watch.
And
During that game is when his rogue coordinator went over, or coach went over to the fans and started doing stuff there.
I know. He don't.
So that's the only thing for me right now is where I'm at with Sharon Moore that I will put on Sharon Moore. There's just nothing I've seen through 7 games that says, you know what?
You're right. And
this is the guy.
Add the personnel hires to that too. It's just it hasn't been.
And
good.
His coordinators haven't helped him.
No,
not at all.
But that's a him thing too.
This is true.
That's a him thing too.
Yeah.
As far as
He's
we
on the hook for
know,
that. He's on
as
the hook
far
for
as
that.
we know, he got to hire his coordinators.
True, he didn't have a lot of time to do so,
Sure.
but at the same time, he did hire these people.
Just remember when we went over the schedule and you were laughing,
Right.
and I kept saying loss,
Right.
loss.
But man, nobody
loss.
saw this coming. Even Michigan detractors didn't
And
see
if
them
you
not
are-
being this.
I saw it coming from what I saw. From what I saw the games.
Don't act like I didn't say 8-4.
True, but 8-4 is
7-5.
better than this. Nobody saw this.
if you are a head coach and you specialize in a certain side of the ball, and that side of the ball is no good, chances are you don't last very long at all.
Yeah.
For instance, Matt Eberflus, if the defense sucked in Chicago, you'd be out. Rich Rodriguez, at least Rich Rodriguez couldn't even do offense well at Michigan.
You mean like Sam McGuffey?
His defense was giving up. His defense was giving up
with that.
70 points a game to Illinois or whatever. I remember I was at the 68-66 overtime game where they won.
Tate Forcier wasn't your cup of tea?
No, that's what I'm saying. If you specialize in a certain side of the ball and that side of the ball sucks, chances are you do not have long in that position.
Who was Rich Rod's QB at West Virginia?
Oh, it was
I
Pat
don't
White.
remember.
Pat White.
Was
Pat
it
White.
really? Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah, Pat White and
I was thinking of Matt White.
what's his name? Tavon Austin, Slayton, Pat White,
nice.
and Noel Devine, the running back. He was a YouTube sensation. They just got it right.
Noel Devine.
Don't forget, Michigan did not let him bring his people in,
Right,
too.
no doubt.
He was handcuffed.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little Lions football. Also, Thursday Night Football last night.
I have to cut you off. What messed up was Terrell Pryor.
Okay.
Terrell Pryor was going to West Virginia.
So he switched over.
With Rich Rod. He switched over. Terrell Pryor went to Ohio State because they were using that NIL money. But wait, NIL was illegal back then.
No doubt.
Terrell Pryor.
But first, a message from 1800 Tequila.
1800 Tequila. Let me get my read. 1800 Tequila, the official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila. And I promise you, we will be doing that this Sunday. Proud sponsor of your and our Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. And please drink responsibly.
Time to get in shape because at Planet Fitness, we know that your fitness is essential. With over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, this is the gym for you because this is the gym for everybody. Get your squeaky clean gym. Also, no judgment free. It's the judgment-free zone. Work out at your own pace, do your own thing. Get it right, baby. And then also, each membership comes with a trainer. So we got fitness that fits into your budget. You have it all here at Planet Fitness.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward Sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah.
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Hot Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey guys, dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? That's Mark White and Associates' job for you. They're going to take care of you. They are your trusted real estate experts. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. It's a lot of money, $5,000 right off the top. Wow. Call Mark White and Associates today, 248-290-8242. You want to hit them up online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White and Associates today. Don't wait, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
And let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Come on in today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special. Scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan that QR code top left-hand corner of your screen right now. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, there were so many examples of you guys as a team doing exactly what we wanted to do, man. Give it up for yourselves for that. Hey, that's awesome. Hey, there's going to be a lot of guys that I'm going to recognize with game balls, but there's one guy in particular that I want to be able to recognize. Where's one ball right here? All right, hey, we had our defense making plays. How about Ethan Evans? I'll give you a game ball on Monday. All right. Hey, offensive line. I can't tell you how impressed I was. Hey, this guy just ended up passing Dan Marino. He's 9th all-time. Ninth all-time in completions, and this was all one tonight. I'll see you. Hey, I want to pass Marino, but 80th win all-time in the Rams. Hey, on my son's first birthday. Hey, love this group, man. Hey, we talked about it coming off the bye. Every streak starts at 1. We're at 2. We know what's up next. I'll see you guys on Monday. Let's be ready to ride, man. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Giving him the weekend off there, Sean. You think he was fired up for that one, man? Wow. You know, you save your season essentially against the Minnesota Vikings. You beat your buddy Kevin O'Connell. That was a big win for the LA Rams last night. And Braylon Edwards, it's a true test. The healthy teams win the games. If all things are equal, health wins every time. And the Rams got healthy last night.
Yeah, they got healthy last night. And Puka Nacua, man, he's a monster. Yeah, he is a monster. Whenever he's out there, he's giving you all that he has. He is making plays. Sometimes I don't even know how he makes those catches and just keeps it going. But shout out to him for coming back. Cooper Kupp caught another touchdown. And then Matt Stafford found these younger guys, and guys that probably were the guys that they were going to keep and move on from move on from Cooper Kupp with. But they played well. Kyron Williams. They're one of those offenses, Ryan, when everybody's healthy, when it looks good, when all the pieces are there. It's a fun offense to watch because Stafford gets rid of that ball fast. Like, he doesn't take many sacks. He gets rid of the ball fast. It's a well-oiled machine, and it looked good last night. To your point about injuries, you're absolutely right because Minnesota was right there with the Rams as well. But what happened when their left tackle got hurt, who's their best offensive lineman, you saw that pressure start coming for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold couldn't get rid of the ball, including the last play of the game, which was a safety. So injuries definitely played the Minnesota Vikings and Minnesota and now the Los Angeles Rams. They look like they could be the team in that league.
They're the best team in the NFC West, if you ask me right now.
That's what I meant.
They're the best team in the NFC West. I'd put them up against the 49ers as they stand right now. I'd put them up against Seattle, and I'd put them up against Arizona. I don't know what happened in the past. I forgot the first 6 games. But this team going forward, I believe, will not trade Cooper Kupp, will not trade Matthew Stafford, but will trade for somebody because I think they're a playoff team.
Well, they could be host a playoff game. Yeah. They are 1 game out. So in the NFC West, the Seattle Seahawks are 4-3. Mm-hmm. Arizona, LA, and San Francisco are all 3-4. Each one of those teams is still alive to win the division. Not only make a playoff, but host a playoff game. And absolutely, if you're telling me right now I got to pick a winner in the NFC West, are you telling me that Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford are healthy? I'm taking...
And Kyron Williams?
Boy, I did not...
What a runner.
I did not know how good that guy was.
He led the league in rushing
I bet on
last
him
year.
to score a touchdown every week, no matter who the heck they're playing. They find a way to get him in the end zone. Another thing, not to cut you off about Kyron, that defense looked really good. Gerard Verse is one of those players that I wanted here.
Yep.
I wanted them to pick him up, want them to take a shot on Gerard Verse. Man, whoever's the defensive coordinator, it'll lose me right now. My apology for the Rams. He's got those guys together because it's not just their offense. Last night, their defense looked impeccable. They only gave up, it was 14 in the first half. They only gave up 6 points in the second half.
They obviously love Sean McVay, too.
Yeah.
They obviously love him. He's the boy genius. You know, he rubs me the wrong way, but you know what? If he was my coach, I'd probably like him.
Yeah, and the face mask penalty.
It was horrible.
It was bad.
That was not
They wouldn't have won the
called.
game, but at least it gets a ball at the 20-yard line and you get
Right.
fresh set of downs.
And it's a minute 40 left.
Yeah, they weren't going to win, but
Like, minute 40 is a lot
you
of
can't
time.
miss that call, though. That was like blatant.
Well, that's
face
why.
mask.
That's why I always felt that there should be a rule that's called "for the good of the game."
Yeah.
Rule.
Yes.
And
It's a great call.
A rule as I call it, for the good of the game.
For blatant miss.
If there is anything out there that is like what we saw last night, that is missed on the field, it absolutely has to be reversed. Because there is just too much at stake. Jobs are on the line. Money is on the line. Not only with the gambling, but you potentially rob the city of Minnesota a home playoff game. You don't know what's going to happen later in the year. You don't know how that game is going to finish. You have no idea. A minute and 40 in the NFL, down 1 score. If the Vikings win that game, they're challenging. You know, I'm going overboard to make an opinion, but or to make a statement. But there is just so much that could potentially be impacted by a just sheer blatant miss that has to be corrected.
Hold on, I'm going to make it simple for you. I'm going to make it very simple and agree with you. It's the NFL's fault, and the reasons why. You've given us so many freaking camera angles through different streaming sites, doing different networks. You have so many angles now. We see everything. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to give us all these cameras angles, and you're going to show us everything, then you got to, this is on you. You got to do your job and look at one of these. Like, you can't have all the camera angles and then not look at them, and they cause a big play, like you said, for Minnesota, their fan base, and everybody included. That's on the NFL. You provide the camera angles, you can see them just like we can.
Listen, this is simple. I've said it forever. Everything should be reviewable. Now, the game's going to take 5 hours. No, it won't. Because look how quick that call would have been turned. Why can't I look back if I have a challenge and a timeout available? Why can't I have that challenged? And if it's not a problem, I lose it.
So can pass interference be challenged?
Hell yeah!
Everything. Should be
especially especially with under 2 minutes to go in the game.
Listen to me, man.
It just gets hairy if you challenge everything because there's so many nuances.
Okay.
In the game.
Would you meet me in the middle and say with under 2 minutes to go in the game?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Listen, if you have pass interference and you throw a flag and it's not blatant and they're not going to change it upstairs, you lose it. You lose your challenge. So you better be sure you want to challenge that. Okay. Everything should be reviewable. Why can't everything be reviewable?
Right. They holding up the game
can't
anyway.
A play clock be reviewable? You know, the 30-second play clock can't be reviewable. Mm-hmm. Why? Remember how it cost the Lions against the Ravens
because
2 years ago?
Refs have judgment. Like in a lot of these calls.
Well, that's bad judgment.
Understood. Yeah. Hey, look, you're not getting any pushback out of me. You're absolutely correct. But the problem with judgment calls is this is why I called the play. So if you go back and you overturn it, the judge's like, well, I called the play because it just becomes tough a little bit with the judgment calls, I think. And that's why certain things aren't reviewable. I don't know.
You can't review a complete muff by the referee. The back judge couldn't see that his head got turned.
So a hold. So if I say, "Hey, I got held,"
if I want to,
let me give you a perfect example of how things can change for a city. Even go back to that Seattle-San Francisco game or the Seattle and Rams game back in 2022, which was the roughing the kicker penalty that was missed, roughing the punter. It cost the Lions a playoff game, and they wouldn't have won. Or they wouldn't have hosted a playoff game that year because they would have been the 7th seed.
It would have been a wild card.
But the bars and restaurants that lost out on money because they're not watching their hometown team play. I mean, just little things like that. The impact that these calls or non-calls in this case have that everybody sees is just, I don't think is good. And then you throw the gambling aspect into this, okay? Now, if you have a Thursday night under, which the Thursday night under is a popular bet.
Correct.
And it is every year.
Number was at 48.
The number is on 48. Over under. You add up the two teams, you add the combined score. Is it over or under that? Last night's number was over under 48. It was 28-20 with 1:40 to go in the game. So if you have the under, you're like, okay, maybe I get a push out of this. Get a push out of it. Break even. And then you see this blatant call that 2 points puts the game over. You're just sick to your stomach. You're like, somebody.
I thought of that right away.
Somebody, please
now,
do something.
People are telling me, but it was moot, Maz. Your point is moot because they didn't have a timeout. Okay, then. They didn't have a timeout, but that's where Ryan's rule comes in. For the good of the game, how many times do they change the call right away?
Right.
What do they call that?
Replay assist.
Replay assist. That's a replay assist. If everything was allowed to be reviewed, they don't need a timeout. It's reviewed. They're on the 20.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they use it at their discretion. They use rules that are very similar, but they won't make them all connect. Give you an example. Our under 2 minutes, all touchdowns reviewable. Takes 2 seconds. Say, hey, look, let's just make sure it's a touchdown. Under 2 minutes, a play like that to decide the game, it should fall into that category. It's not a touchdown, but yet and still, this is still a play that's deciding the game, if you will. So it's very inconsistent what the rule book seems to be in the NFL as it relates to reviewing things and not reviewing things.
No doubt about it, but hey, a good result for the Detroit Lions. They sit atop the NFC North all alone at 5-1. And then
they're like a game and a half up on them.
This division is something, man. You've got I told you about how the NFC West is so tight with 4-3 and 3-4. How about the NFC North? Detroit is 5-1, and then you've got Minnesota, Green Bay, both 5-2, and then Chicago 4-2. This is one heck of a division, the best in football, in my opinion.
Oh God, yeah, hands down.
Yeah, 100%. I thought it was going to be this way this season. It seems like it's starting to pick up some steam, and I'm eager to see where the Chicago Bears ultimately go, because I did have them get in the playoffs just like Maz. I got nervous early on in the year. It takes water a second to find its level, but I'm still intrigued to see what ultimately are they. Can you trust DeAndre Swift in the second half of the season? Is it DJ Moore, Keenan Allen? Are they going to gel? So still want to see. We know what the Green Bay Packers are, and we know what the Vikings are. Still don't know what those Bears are.
Big game coming up with Washington this week.
I was going to say, do we, just looking at the NFL schedule this week, and what's the big game? Is it Dallas, San Francisco at night?
In the old days, that would have been a good one.
But both teams a must win.
Correct.
Right? Both teams absolute must win. Both teams coming off, Dallas is coming off the bye, but.
You know what Fox's number one team is? Bears, Washington.
Yeah, but I don't think Jaden Daniels is playing, is he?
Yeah,
Probably not.
Ribs.
Probably not.
I think the best game is going to be, let's see.
You've got Philly and Cincy.
That's what I was looking at.
That could be
Falcons
good,
Bucks will be fun, but it's not the best game.
Bills,
but
Seahawks,
it's a fun game. There's really nothing that sticks out except the 49ers and Cowboys.
I think your team might lose. Well, your secondary team. I think they might lose this week.
You think the Pack is losing to the Jags?
I think the Jags.
Well, you'll have a chance because it's on our sheet coming up.
I'm going with the Jags.
Really?
All right. You already going with them? Lock them in.
You're right.
Fetty, lock them in.
Yeah,
He's got the Jags.
I'm not doing
until he
that.
hears everyone else, and then he says, "I changed my mind."
Right.
First of all,
I'm not touching that.
Guys, do we see?
We always cheat, Braylon, anyway.
I'm saying one time because Pete made a bet. I went opposite. I actually won that game. So
Bro, I'm just busting your balls.
relax.
Is there any news? Dan Campbell, this is from Dave Burkett.
Yep.
Dan
Pascal.
Dan Campbell says Josh Pascal won't practice again today. Made it sound like he won't be in there on Sunday, but didn't say that specifically. Lions already down Hutchinson and Davenport at defensive end. Now could be without their top 3 defensive ends. Dan did say no long-term concerns with Pascal's health. You know, one of the things,
2 practice squad guys are going to play.
One of the issues with the Detroit Lions right now that you cannot really guard against is there are going to be more injuries to this team. They have only played 6 games. They have 11 more to go. You're already sitting J-Mo out for a couple of weeks. You got Pascal out now this week. Hutchinson out. Davenport out. You know, there's some problems with this team. It's almost like survive and advance at this point. Survive and advance. Absolutely. It just goes to show you how quickly things can change on you. And that's why when you're in a go-for-it year, you got to do what? Go for it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I mean, there are just no guarantees in life.
I don't want to wait till April. I want to do it now.
Yeah.
April, man. Forget April.
Speaking of doing it now, Max, can I steal one of your topics off around the NFL?
Of course.
Robert Saleh joined the Green Bay Packers staff.
We got video of
that. His best friend.
Show it to you.
Well, I do know that. That's major.
Yeah.
Like nobody said he wasn't a bad defensive mind. He just wasn't a good head coach.
Right.
I don't like that. I don't like that because I like Green Bay's defense too. To be honest. Whoo.
No, he's
best friends that play on opposite teams or coach opposite teams. Like
the rich get richer. The Packers defense
on the board this week, 11.5 points. That thing is up against. But again, I just this is the NFL, man. I'm curious to see how they're going to come out and play the Titans because Tennessee can play you tough, as evidenced by the game against the Chicago Bears, where they should have beaten the Chicago Bears. They absolutely should have beaten the Bears. And then they can look so bad, you're like, how is this an NFL team? You know, we were talking to Coach Mack yesterday, Dave McInnes, former coach of the Arizona Cardinals, who does now Titans radio, and he was not talking very positively about Will Levis, but he did.
Or Mason Rudolph.
Or Mason Rudolph.
Who is scheduled to start, I believe.
So. Mason Rudolph?
Yeah, I think.
I did not hear that.
Yes, Levis is hurt.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Mayo boy's hurt.
But I was gonna say,
you're right. I did hear that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
One of the things that
where my head is.
It's all good.
One of the things that can be sketchy when you play against teams like that are playing a backup quarterback is sometimes they don't try to do as much as the starting quarterback. Like you've seen that a bunch of times. Remember when I was about to say Cooper Flagg. I got the basketball player on mind. Mm-hmm. But remember when the backup quarterback for the Cowboys, what's his name?
Cooper Rush.
Remember when he would take over for Dak? He understood the offense. He knew how to play in it. He didn't do too much. He did what the offense was supposed to. You've seen that in other situations. So I'm not saying you should worry about the Titans at all. Not at all. I'm just saying that number, that 9.5, this would be a weird game where the Lions win by 6. Maybe 6 at the most, but because he's not going to do that much, and it'd be a boring game. And the defense is a good defense.
They're a good defense.
Tony Pollard's a good runner, but the Lions have been great against the run.
Yeah. True, especially when you don't have to necessarily defend against the pass.
And that defense hasn't faced a Lions offense or offense of this caliber.
Well, there is no offense of this caliber. It's just the Lions this year.
Exactly. But they got boat raced by the Bills last week, who just added a receiver. So
they got a running quarterback though.
Curious to see how this team comes out though and plays as well. You know, after really emotional wins in back-to-back weeks against Dallas and Minnesota, a really tough 2-week stretch, you come home and do feel like, from an outside perspective anyway, and you tell me what this is like in the room when you're playing a team like this, that you could take the foot off the gas a little bit in a week like this. Maybe everybody's looking around saying, okay, that's a game I'm going to do a big stat number or something like that, but you really don't feel like there's any concern that you're going to lose the game. I guard against that, though, because this is the NFL and anybody can beat you.
I'll tell you like this. Look, when I was playing for the New York Jets, we didn't have one of those guys at quarterback or one of those players that had been there that could really tell us about it. We were a bunch of guys trying to get there, man. So every once in a while, you're feeling good. You get 2 wins in a row. Or Ryan, we were 9-2. after 11 games my second year there. So you get the roll, and then you play at Texans that aren't so good, and you give up some plays, and next thing you know, you're in a dogfight with a team that's probably going to finish third in their division. It does happen like that. But the reason why I don't think it will happen for the Lions, the guy that's playing the best football for the Lions, maybe even including Hutch when he was playing, is Jared Goff. Where's Jared Goff been? He's been to the Super Bowl. He's experienced defeat at the Super Bowl. He knows what it means to get all the way there. Last year, he was in the NFC Championship. So I just think you got a guy leading this ship that isn't going to let any of that set in, isn't going to let these guys rest, that's going to keep the foot on the gas because he wants to get back. He wants to prove he's worth his money. He wants to prove that he's a much better version of what he was with the Los Angeles Rams with McVay. So I think because of that, they don't take their foot off the gas.
I hope not, because it is a trap game with the Packers awaiting them the following week. Both teams, by the way, are going to be wearing blue pants. Lions are all blue. Tennessee will have white on their jerseys, the blue pants. They probably should have thought it out ahead of time and maybe gone all white.
That's fine.
I know you don't. Figured I'd let you know anyway.
All right, gang, we'll take a break. More NFL. Also, we got our pick segment to do next hour. We'll go around the NFL, all kinds of goodies coming up, World Series as well. But first, a message from Dr. Pierce.
All right, guys, do not miss out on our expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Don't forget he joins the Big D Energy crew every Tuesday. He's with us on Thursdays. You heard him yesterday from Florida. He's got that special sauce for you. Trust the guy that D-Mac and Braylon trust. We all trust. It's Dr. Jeff Pierce, MichiganSportsandSpine.com, 248-426-9944. And have you ever thought about volunteering but you didn't know where to start? Well, you can start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle Campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. Hey, Halloween's a week away? Or is it less than a week away? Yeah. A week away yesterday.
Life come at you.
By the way, I'm not going to bowl on Trick or Treat. Can't. Love Halloween.
No.
So Thanksgiving and Christmas right around the corner. You know it. Choose your 2-hour session. Is it a physical Red Kettle site or participate in a virtual bell ringing? You want to raise funds right from the comforts of your own home. Traditional bell ringing begins Friday, November 7th, runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com. The Salvation Army Red Kettle Campaign.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at WoodwardSports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi experts Woodward Sports.
Listen, whatever long drink that you're drinking right now, just stop. Just stop. Go to the store and go get Taller, the Dutch long drink from New Holland Brewing Company. It is shoulders above the rest. I promise y'all, I've drank it. I back it up. Made from New Holland small batch gin, 100% grapefruit, and it's all natural flavors and ingredients in there to give you the best tasting long drink that you can ask for, man. And it's made right here in Holland, Michigan. You can't get no better than that, man. Support local businesses and support Taller, your local long drink.
Time to tell you about Soroki's because they have those new signature wings, lemon pepper being the best, but they got 7 new flavors for you. They're trying to switch things up, not just the crispy chicken and the pizza, but they're stepping into the world of wings. And it's the perfect time because it's football season, so you got to get some of these wings. And if not, you got to go back and get those honey biscuits because the honey biscuits, oh my God, they may be a national treasure. They definitely are here. Soroki's is everywhere. You just got to stop by.
And let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale with the Buick GMC store. My goodness, this family's been in business for over 55 years in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue, where they've been doing great work over there. We love Les Stanford. They've been a partner with us here at Woodward Sports for since day one, really. So we'd appreciate it if you're in the market to buy a new car, lease a new car, buy a pre-owned car. Check out Les Stanford, all GM brands under one umbrella. Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and of course Corvette. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazway, KG, Pete Spivak. Hour number 2 of the program. Moving along here. Big football weekend. Lions and Titans on Sunday. Michigan State tomorrow. How about high school football tonight? Word. The regular season finale for high school football in our state. There's something that makes me very sad about that. It's almost like, where did the time go? Where did this season go? Where did the fall go?
We're almost in November.
Back when I played, it was harder to make the playoffs. Now you win 5-6 games, chances are you're absolutely guaranteed to make a playoff. You needed to be minimum 7-2 to make the playoffs back when I played, so I never made the playoffs. So the finale was the finale. That's what it was. And so congratulations to all the athletes out there who've taken the field tonight and their families.
I think what's sad about that time, man, being a former high school player myself, Ryan, you know what it is the year may not be over, the school year may not be over, but for a lot of guys on that team, they're seniors, which means this is going to be the last time that they walk that field, the last time, you get a chance to see them get a chance to be on the field and come out for that team, that school. So I think that's what's sad about it, because for a lot of guys, their high school journey, a lot of girls, their high school journeys, they've come to an end around this time. So I think that's what, for me, the feeling is like. It's like, dang. It's like that last game you play. I still remember my last game. The last game I ever played, and we played at Keyworth Stadium in Hamtramck. We played against Britton Deerfield.
That's Neil. They're going to rename it Neil
the
Rule
Neil
Stadium.
Rule. Yeah, that's it.
I was told.
DCFC.
That's DCFC. But a lot of fun. Scored a touchdown, had 2 sacks, and rushed one as well.
Where are you going tonight,
Still
Ryan?
I'm going to Chippewa Valley tonight for the De La Salle Chippewa Valley game. So,
how are both of those teams this year so far?
De La Salle 5-2.
Chippewa Valley
3-5 on the year. Yeah.
They had a running back my senior year. I still remember his name, Chris Lamazny. He had 28 touchdowns his senior year.
Really?
Hey, listen, I walked into the bowling alley last night. Quick story.
651.
I wasn't going to brag about my scores.
Did you get any turkeys?
Oh, I got quite a few.
Yeah, a bunch of
Any
them.
4-baggers?
I had 7 in a row at one point.
You did?
I did.
What do you call that? A centuplet?
It's a 7-timer.
Seven-bagger?
Yeah, 7-timer. 7-timer. Anyway, a guy we bowled against, he shot a 290.
Wow.
No, 280 and a 279 against us.
Wow.
Great bowler. Shout out to Mike's Stoodle. Anyway, I walk into the bowling alley. I go back to get my equipment, get my shoes on. I walk into the locker room, the bowling locker room.
Locker room talk.
And my guy, Bob Palm, is talking to one of his
not
friends.
Closed. That's what he's
Now, Bob Palm, I had no idea that you and him knew each other.
I've
so
known
I'm just
the Palm
walking
family
in.
for a number of years.
I'm walking in, and I hear him. He don't know I'm there, and he knows I work with you. So he's just talking about, hey, the last time I went with blah, 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 blah. All I heard was Ryan Ermanni, 5 yards. Ryan Ermanni, 7 yards. Ryan Ermanni, this. Ryan Ermanni, that. So I walk in. I'm like, you talking about Rye? He's like, yeah, the last time I took my nephew to a game, And then he went into the whole story. And I guess you never did come out of the game.
You never came out the game. It's real.
I've been trying to tell you.
Yeah, man.
They don't listen.
That's awesome.
You're a stud.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I'm far from it.
I know, but when you walk in
Yeah.
and they're talking about your buddy, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
cool.
awesome. That's
See?
pretty awesome.
Maybe you aren't blowing smoke, man. You're not a fugazi.
He
You
showed
know what I'm
y'all
saying? You're not a
every
fugazi.
turn, man. He showed y'all with the three-pointer.
Well,
every turn he showed
I'm his
y'all.
Thank you,
biggest, I'm his
KG.
biggest fan. I'm just joking
KG.
right now.
Oh my gosh,
All right,
that's
let me
great
give you some
stuff.
NFL news.
Yeah, give me some NFL. man.
Earlier this week, Andy Dalton and his family, he's got his wife and,
The Red
and,
Rifle?
and 3 kids. The Red Rifle's driving. They get in a car accident, and thankfully it was okay. Nobody was really hurt. They were bumped and bruised, but he busted his thumb. He's sitting out this week. It's the return of Bryce Young.
Wow.
Bryce Young starting for the Panthers
Reluctantly.
against the Broncos. What do you think?
How about that? I'm rooting for this kid,
So,
man.
who
I
isn't?
know. I mean, seriously.
Who isn't?
I'm rooting for this
I'm rooting
kid.
for him to get out of Carolina.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, but we'll see what happens.
Sometimes when you sit down, you see things differently. You're able to see through a different lens, and it's still the same team, still the same situation, but maybe he comes in a little bit differently. Maybe he's playing with a little bit more passion, And I don't know the situation with him, but maybe it's just a switch is flicked on for him, man. Who knows? So I'm with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it did benefit him when you take a 20,000-foot view of a couple of things. We'll see. I am rooting for him. Who do they play this week?
Broncos.
Broncos?
Yeah.
Ugh.
They asked Sean Payton about
Denver's
Bryce
pretty
Young, and he
good.
went into a whole diatribe of how great he was.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Coach
defense
speak.
played.
Yeah.
Coach
1-6.
Josh Reynolds was involved in like a shooting or something too.
He was
Yeah.
coming out of a nightclub, coming out of a
A gentleman's
gentleman's
establishment.
club with a couple of friends, some gunfire.
He was
I
shot
wouldn't-
in the face? Is that what I heard?
No.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think so.
yeah. I heard that as well, but minor injuries, whatever the hell that means.
So he got grazed.
Yeah.
Wow. You get grazed, you
Yeah.
get shot.
You're right.
This is true.
All right.
A
Wow.
bullet did connect.
So thank God he's okay.
Dang.
His
I
friends, I guess, are good.
That's crazy.
I'm watching that Aaron Hernandez thing, so nothing's out of the realm of possibility. I mean, that guy was, what a tough upbringing. He was off his rocker.
Did you send us the clip, or did I just randomly see it on Twitter when Aaron Hernandez went up to Bill Belichick and asked him for a trade?
You must have gotten it from someone, but I saw that the other night.
Okay. So Aaron Hernandez walks up to Bill Belichick, asks him for a trade because he wants to get out of Boston.
He wants to be safe. Because
Right.
the guy was coming after him.
Right.
How about, let me set it up for you.
Yeah.
He takes a drive with his friend, and his friend is one of the biggest drug dealers in the city, in Bristol. So they grew up together. But the guy is
Imagine getting out, only be brought back.
he's a bad dude. Don't get on his bad side, but him and Aaron were getting along, but he knew a lot about Aaron, a lot. And him and Aaron shot a couple of kids one time, and they covered it up. Aaron did not get charged about that. So the guy had that over his head. So Aaron wanted to just get rid of him. He shoots him in the head in the car. He's driving. He shoots the guy.
Aaron Hernandez
shoots this buddy.
This is the infamous one at the gas station.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pulls into the station, leaves the car, calls his friends, get me out of here, blah, blah, blah. They take the car, they leave the body. They take the car, they put it in his aunt's garage, they hide it.
Wow.
The guy lives.
Oh no.
The guy lives. He shot his eye, lost his eye, but he lives.
Get
so
out
from
of
the
here.
hospital bed, Aaron Hernandez just gets a $40 million contract. Great. They're interviewing him. He's so happy, blah, blah, blah. And he gets a beep. He looks at his phone. Hey, MF, I'm coming after you. I'm still alive.
Wow.
And the phone rings. He's like, I got to take this. And you hear the guy on the phone. You can't even kill a blah, 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 blah. I'm coming after you.
Oh
That's
my
when he goes to Belichick. After he was out of his mind. Goes to Belichick and says, you got to trade me. Belichick says, take a hike.
Dealing with some
I'm not
bad
trading
people,
you.
man.
I'm not trading you. What I'll do is, your
was
shoulder
one of
has
them.
to be scoped. I'll send you out to California to get it scoped. They go out to California with his wife, beautiful wife and daughter. It's his girlfriend at the
She
time.
don't
They haven't
look that
been
good in
married.
real life, by the way. Like his wife
I'm
don't
sure,
look like
but
her.
she looked damn good in the
I know her.
series. She looked damn good in the series.
I know.
So they go to California, and the guy, he gets a new phone, puts this phone in a safe with his guns. But one time he goes back just to look at it, and there's like 20 messages. And the guy won't leave him alone. Then he calls the agent. Hey, I want $2.5 million from Aaron. So the agent, who's played by a great dude, calls Aaron. Hey, look, this guy wants $2.5 million. What'd you do to him? He's like, nothing. I didn't do anything to him. He killed 2 people, shot this guy in the eye, and he didn't do anything. So as the thing is ending, he's going back to Connecticut, and him and his boys get a new apartment for him. And he opens this wall, the fake wall, and he's got artillery rifles in the wall. And he writes the guy back, I'm coming after you now. And they're going back and forth. And that's where it ends.
Wow.
We know what happens later, and then he kills Olin Lloyd, another friend of his.
Yeah.
And that's going to come up still. But I'm telling you, this guy was out of his freaking mind.
Wow.
Out of his
So
mind.
I might need to dial in.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you can get away from some of the scenes.
He did.
You sold me.
Yeah.
sold me.
So
It's
you
fab-
need a
it's-
space between them and
It's fabulous story.
You've sold
fabulous
me.
story.
That's FX?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
Wow.
they don't miss.
I'm on
They don't
Hulu,
miss.
so you get
Yeah.
one commercial, one 30-second commercial, then you get a couple more 30-second commercials.
Sure,
and that's
fine.
it. I can put up with
Fine,
that.
absolutely.
But it's a great story.
Wow, good
Wow.
job, Maz.
2 more episodes.
Pretty good stuff. Tell me about Alvin Kamara.
I will. Alvin Kamara earlier this week got a 2-year, $24.5 million extension. So he gets a little press conference because the scoop was, hey, Sean Payton, my old coach, get me the hell out of here. I don't want to be in New Orleans. Get me out of here. So, of course, the media says, hey, you really want to leave New Orleans?
Again, I've been here my whole career. I don't feel like there's another place like New Orleans, quite honestly. I think me leaving here and trying to go and find somewhere else, because there's a reality of it. I could have waited to the end of the season and then just said, all right, I'm going to, visit here, find where I'm going. But I don't think it does me any justice. It doesn't serve me any. I don't think to go somewhere and chase. I mean, you could say you're chasing Super Bowls, you're chasing a better organization, better coaches. Like, it doesn't. I don't think that's the answer. I mean, this city's been loyal to me. This organization's been loyal to me. I don't feel like I would get this same feeling that I get putting on the fleur-de-lis anywhere else. So I think it was just important for me, and I keep saying it, and you say it, and then people are like, no, he's lying, and I'm like, I'm for real. I wouldn't lie about that. If it was the other way around, then nobody would hear anything, and it would just happen, right? So I think it was really important for me to just stay buckled down here, and figure it out whenever it got figured out. And yesterday was the day. I think that it's just special. It's just special here. I think I would lose my flame if I went somewhere else. Honestly, and I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, "Yeah, just stay." My mom don't really know too much about football. She's just like, "Yeah, it's easy." She's looking at convenience, but I'm really looking at the bigger picture and just understanding that for my legacy and for for me personally, my mind and just body, everything. I just feel like this is the place for me.
How he said the fleur-de-lis perfectly.
I really like it, Alvin Kamara, and I feel like Donovan Edwards could have I don't want to say similar. I mean, this guy's a borderline Hall of Famer.
He's playing with a broken hand, by the way.
But could have a similar type impact in the NFL. I feel like Donovan Edwards is an Alvin Kamara type player if used properly in a sophisticated offense.
I hate that players have to beg for their money when all they're trying to do is leave a mark in the city that they've given all to. Look, this is a guy that's given the city, whenever he's healthy, he's given all that he has. How many games we watch where we're like, wow, Alvin Kamara, how's he getting done? How is he that physical at that size? So, to have to ask or to have to make a rumbling, if you will, so that you can get vested for the rest of your career. Like he said, Maz, he's trying to retire in the fleur-de-lis. Like, allow him to, especially when he still has a lot to give. So I'm glad that this happens, but sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the oil. In another case in here,
there's really only one running back that.
Yeah, he's amazing. I'm getting roasted on the chat.
I don't
have
the
the chat.
spoiler. Anson Wells is on there. My guy Ortega is on there. Man, you're spoiling the Aaron thing.
These are all things that were out in the public.
Right. Yeah, we know the story.
That's like telling you how the Titanic ended up.
Right.
You know, like
you didn't know it crashed?
Yeah,
Oh
you didn't
God,
know it crashed and everybody died. Yeah, it actually happened. But the thing with these running backs, though, you do have to beg. I mean, Derrick Henry, see ya. Joe Mixon, see ya.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley, see ya.
And all those teams are worse off.
Right.
But all three of those teams that got those players are in the league.
Tony Pollard. Well, Tennessee stinks,
let me give
he
you.
got out of Dallas.
Let me give you just on the other side of that token. Jerry Jones paid Ezekiel Elliott is probably the worst decision that a franchise can make. Though, too. You know what I mean? So it is
But he's not paying him anything now.
Now he's not.
already paying him.
Now he's not.
Right.
But when he did re-sign him with no problems, I got to keep my guy Ezekiel Elliott. It is in, I think you did go case by case on that stuff.
The problem is what you pay. Like you can always pay, Ryan. It's just what you pay. And Jerry's an idiot in the sense of this. The league was turning towards no longer needing running backs like they did when he was coming up to his third and fourth year. They started to go to the way of the wide receiver with this is how you activate. You don't even necessarily need a running back like that. And Jerry paid him at the tail end of that, and he paid him way more than running backs were going to get. So Jerry made a dumb decision. It wasn't to pay him wasn't the dumb decision. It was a price that he paid Ezekiel Elliott for, which wasn't necessarily a smart decision because he's still operating that running back to the catalyst and running back to the MVPs, and he paid him right when it was no more.
I got something for you guys. Braylon sent this to me the other day.
2008.
I check it out, and this
is great.
How you call an offensive play, and you hear the guys how they call it. Bray, throw one out at me. Throw an offensive play out at me.
Oh man, it's been so long. I'm so old.
All right, let's listen to Chase Daniel first.
Right weak twins left. Let me listen to Chase.
Yeah, there's all kind of language in this. This is Chase Daniel on the Chase Daniel Show on YouTube. How to decipher an offensive play.
I want to start with 13Z, Devery Henderson, Chris Ivory, green right nasty, Z peel, fake slash 37, Buster Bluff, naked right X post, wide bite. That'll be the first call.
Yeah. Green right nasty, Z peel, fake slash 37, Buster Bluff, naked right X post, Y bite. So the formation is green right nasty. 13Z Devery Henderson, which means you want a Devery Henderson type guy at the receiver, and you want Chris Ivory as your running back. Z peel talks to the Z receiver. You're going to peel past the quarterback in a motion and come back. It's actually a tight end because you call it 13Z. Fake slash 37 means it's a run to the left that you're faking. Buster Bluff, naked right, is the protection of the offensive line. They're all going to, like elephants on the parade, move to the left. X post means it's a deep post. A Y bite is a Y tight end, and he has a corner stop. And that's just one NFL play call.
What?
That's one NFL play, but here's how what he forgot to break it down, the part he forgot to say is, if you're listening in the huddle, you don't have to pay attention to the whole play.
That's what I was going to ask you as to why you probably couldn't call it out on command, because as a wide receiver, I imagine, Braylon, you are specifically listening for a certain call.
All I'm listening for is the play, the formation.
What's the X doing?
I'm listening to formation, I'm listening to their motion, and I'm listening to what you're tagging the Z to do. So he told the Z what to do. And that zip motion, boom, that zig, like the Z, that motion, that tells this tells the side. Buster Brown, that's the protection. That's the only thing that the offensive line is listening to, is that and then the action. Which way is running back going? So it's 4 different levels of that, but I'm only listening to 2 things.
100%.
Offensive line's only listening to 2 things. The X receiver only has 1 thing.
Right.
Really just the X post or the side of the ball. So it's ways to break that down. Now, players like Amon-Ra St. Brown, they're listening to everything and they know everything. Like, not every player is going to be an Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'll be honest with you. I knew what the X did. I knew what the Z did. I wasn't listening to anybody else and I didn't care. My job was to know X or Z, and then if I was switching off, then I would have to know what X is. But guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's why they get the big busts. That's why they're the better players, because he understands from a wideout's perspective. He knows what the offensive line is going, the quarterback is doing, etc. So it's just what to pay attention to in a play call.
How about being the head coach? You hear Sean Payton.
Yeah.
That's miraculous to me. No wonder they don't go home.
So much
no wonder they sleep on the couch.
So much for the trips right 34 dive.
Do you remember the old NFL films? Hank Stram on the sidelines of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Give me 33 toss power trap. 33 toss power trap.
Right.
No, nothing in front of his face. He's just screaming it out. He's like, how about that 33 toss power trap? It's gonna break open. Those days are gone.
It's unbelievable.
But that's it. That's the level. Defensive players are so good. Defensive schemes are so good. You're playing against those guys like that are coming off the edge. You got to confuse them with the action. The plays had to evolve a little bit.
Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more NFL. Also, we've got our pick segment. Also, we've got baseball to talk about as well.
Basketball and hockey, too.
Oh, my goodness. It's a
Everyone's
lot.
playing it.
What a time to be alive. But first, a message from us here at WSN starts with the pregame show on Sunday morning, 8 a.m. to 9 with our good friends Terry Foster and Matt Broder. It is the Woodward and Maine show right here on Woodward Sports Network. Wake up with us. It is Lions game day, Woodward and Maine, 8 to 9. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Then stay tuned for the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show. Neil Rule, Sean Belegian, 10 a.m. to noon. Woodward Sports are going to be live at Second Best Bar in Detroit this week. That's Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller, your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC.
And you can fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com, choose your favorite roast, use the code word Woodward, and you'll get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local on game day, and do it right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. We'll be right back.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all.
Go to woodwardsports.com, click that shop tab, and treat yourself nice.
To $1,000, and if you didn't hit, you can get that money back through a bonus bet.
What?
That's exactly what you can do here at Caesars Sportsbook. But you gotta use the promo code, and that promo code is Woodward 1000. Woodward, all caps. Look, man, the Caesars Sportsbook, they putting some stuff together. Nice situation over there. Go check them out, make you some money.
And we'll be doing our Caesars Sportsbook picks in just a little bit. We are trying to track down Kevin Kugler, who's going to have the call of the Lions and Titans on Fox in just a couple of days. We'll get him up and going. But Braylon, I want to continue on with a couple of NFL stories here. Atlanta is going to host the Super Bowl in 2028. Atlanta gets Super Bowl 62. I wanted to ask you because it feels like certain cities get more Super Bowls than New Orleans, Atlanta, Tampa Bay,
Florida. Yeah. Ryan, when you're spending $3 billion in stadiums and you're putting in all the technology and things that have, and you see what the Clippers are doing. We talked about their arena, but when you're putting all that money in these nice places, like, you don't need to go other places. You don't need to go to other places and wonder if a Super Bowl is gonna work, or wonder if you can make that city have a success. You know the formula at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. You know the formula now at SoFi where the Rams won. You know the formula in these places. Allegiant is going to have Super Bowls. When they build in Tennessee, Nash Vegas, they'll have Super Bowls. But for future reference, it just makes sense. When you spend that much money on stadiums, it comes with the territory.
All right. Braylon, let's go to the VMix line now. Bring in Kevin Kugler. He'll have the call of the Lions and Tennessee Titans on Fox this week with his partner, Daryl Moose Johnson. Also calls games on Westwood 1, college basketball Final Four. Kevin Kugler, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm glad I could join you guys.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Thanks so much for doing it. Kevin, Maz and I, who you've been communicating with, we think the world of you. You call a beautiful game, man. I'm so glad you have the Lions game this week. How's it been going with the NFL?
I don't think he calls a beautiful game.
Maz and I are broadcaster dorks.
Okay, leave me out to dry. That's not cool.
We're broadcaster dorks.
I love you too, cool. Jesus,
that's all right, Braylon. That's fine. Sanchez used to warn me about you when we were teammates. He's like, he will not like your call. So.
Oh my God, that's all lies. That's all lies. How you doing, brother?
I appreciate it. I appreciate the two of you are glad I'm on the call this week. I'm really excited.
Oh, you guys are something else.
Hey, and we know you root against our team. We already know that.
Yeah.
Any team you want, I'm going to happily root against them every single time.
Absolutely.
Kevin, I'll start with the Lions here. When you do your prep and you watch this team and you talk to the coaches and you're going through the production meetings, what stands out to you about this football team? We believe here in this room that they are the best team in the league, if not the second best team in the NFL.
They're certainly the NFC favorite in my mind to go to the Super Bowl, and I know I know what I say when I say that about the Detroit Lions football team because I've watched a lot of Lions football over the years, and I know what that means for the fan base. But this is a team that has it all. Now, I wish they had Aiden Hutchinson, not only from the standpoint. The last time I saw Aiden Hutchinson, he had 5 sacks, but he's just such a difference maker with this group. But I still think this is a good enough team that even though we're losing arguably one of the best defensive linemen in the game, and I think it all starts with a quarterback that was a few years back. We were talking with Dan Campbell earlier today, and they were asking him about the Jared Goff moment when he came over from the Rams, and everybody looked at that as a stopgap quarterback. And everybody said, this is going to be the guy that they use until they can get a quarterback. And he played so well that you didn't have to get a quarterback. And now Jared Goff's playing better than anybody the league has seen from a passing and completion standpoint in decades.
I agree with you, Kevin, on Jared Goff, but I want to focus on something you said. You talked about 97, Aiden Hutchinson. He won't be with the team the rest of the season. What are your thoughts on the Lions having to make a move, not making a move, trying to play by committee, Brad Holmes? I would be very interested to see what you think about this team because clearly you're high on them. On offense, what do they need on defense? Do they got to make that move?
Well, the question is, Braylon, who do they get? I mean, everybody knows that you'd love to have Max Crosby come back to Michigan if you could, but it doesn't sound like, at least from the reports I've read, that that's necessarily in the offing. So where's the guy that you can go get to make a difference? Now, unless it's Max Crosby, it's not going to be the difference that Aiden Hutchinson makes. But it is, if you can find a guy who can man one of those two positions. And look, not that you mentioned, I don't sleep on Marcus Davenport loss either. That was the guy who could have helped overcome some of the missing production from Aiden Hutchinson. But when you lose both of those guys, it is tough. I feel like if they can find a guy, they've got to make a move and try to get to go all in if you have to take play in and win the Super Bowl. That's what Detroit is right now. But just the matter is, who is that person? If it's not Max Crosby, is there a difference maker out there that's worth what would likely be an elevated price you have to pay?
You're absolutely right. It isn't magic. There are some technical things that go into making a decision like that for Brad Holmes. Sticking with that side of the ball, the secondary players, Terrion Arnold, rookie out of Alabama, and then Carlton Davis II came in from Tampa on a pretty big contract, a proven contract, if you will. What are your assessments so far of this secondary, which was horrible last season? What do you think it's done this season?
No, I think it's a lot better, first off. I think they've found a couple of parts. And I think we were talking with Brian Branch earlier in our meeting before this game. And the one thing he said is this is a much tighter unit. And that's kind of cliche, and I sometimes roll my eyes when I hear players go, we're much tighter this year. But I really do think that has made a difference, especially when you go out and bring in a guy like Terrion Arnold who to make feel like he is at home and feel like he's acclimated into the group. They've gone out and do a lot of group dinners, they do a lot of group things together, which is one of the things that the Lions' defensive backs have really stressed this year, some of the veterans back there, to try to blend that entire group together. And I think it's worked so far. Are they a perfect secondary? No, but they're so much vastly improved from where they were last year. And I think they're only going to get better.
Oh.
Terrific safeties that have operated very well. Carlton Davis is a vet who knows what he's doing back there. I like the group that they've assembled. I think they've really improved it. But I think that group's going to have a lot of pressure on it. You're going to make it cover longer if you're not able to get the pressure on the quarterback that you were getting pre-injuries to Davenport and Hutchinson.
Talking to Kevin Kugler, he'll have the call of the Lions and Titans with Daryl Moose Johnson this week. Kevin, in the weeks that you've done games so far this season, who has been the best team that you've seen personally so far?
Well, I got the chance to see Green Bay pre-Love return and post-Love return. I think they're very good. I do think the Lions are better than the Packers a little bit, and I'm not just saying that to play to my audience. I just think the combination of the run game and the pass game with what I think is still a solid defense puts them a little bit ahead. We've been so heavily NFC that obviously Kansas City is the team to beat. I've not seen them in person, but I don't need to see Kansas City in person to know that Patrick Mahomes is still a really good quarterback, and Andy Reid is still an excellent football coach.
100%.
And until you set from the perch, it's a lot like the Patriots in their heyday. Until you knocked the Patriots from the perch, they were always the team to beat, and they always had to be considered the very best team going until they weren't, until somebody knocked them out. I feel the same way about Patrick Mahomes as I did about those Patriots teams in the Belichick-Brady heyday. But I really do think from an NFC standpoint, this division is going to test everybody. This division is fantastic. And I look around the rest of the league, and some of the teams that you thought would be right in the mix, San Francisco has been crushed by injuries. Dallas is a mess right now. I don't know what to make of Dallas. And then look around the rest of the NFC. Jump out at me. It's hard to find too many teams outside of this division that you'd say are legitimate contenders right now with everything factored in outside of the Detroit Lions. I think this Detroit team is the favorite right now in the NFC. Long way to go.
Hey, Kevin, pleasure to talk to you. And I got to ask you about Jared Goff. He is on an amazing pace, especially these last 3 to 4 games, man. And I think he's in the MVP conversation. When you look at, other teams, Lamar Jackson would be up there. Maybe even Josh Allen would be in that conversation. Where does Jared Goff sit in the MVP conversation for you right now?
Top 2 for me right now. I put Lamar right in that conversation, and I will admit to that, I hate everybody's team, but I am an unabashed fan of players and individuals. I think Lamar Jackson is just outstanding.
Yeah.
He's one of the quarterbacks I would pay to play the game, and luckily I don't have to pay because they pay me to go to these games. But he's just fabulous. He's a guy you can't pull your eyes away from the screen when he's on it. Jared is playing at a level and leading this team at a level that we haven't seen in generations at the quarterback position. The last team to have a 4-game span where you have more offensive touchdowns than interceptions was the Browns of 1959 and 1960. I don't have to tell anybody that you played the game a little bit differently in 1959 and 1960 than you do in 2024. That was a heavy Jim Brown running team that the Cleveland Browns had out there. They have 15 incompletions and 18 touchdowns in a 4-game span. Goff has 16 incompletions and 18 touchdowns in this 4-game span. I have studied that stat all week long because to me it's just remarkable. You have team of 16 income pitchers in a 4-game span, you could be playing tremendous football. The fact that nobody's done it since a team that only threw it 15 times a game in the 1959 Cleveland Browns season is remarkable.
Hey, Kevin, we're up against it. Thanks so much for the time, my friend. We really appreciate it. Enjoy your stay in Detroit. Hopefully, we'll see you back here sometime soon this year, okay?
Hope so. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Go Lions, Kevin. Go Lions.
All right, we'll see you. Hey, guys, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll it's our picks. It's our Caesar Sportsbook picks. We'll do that next. Who's KG got
Swiss.
this week? But first, a message from Swiss.
That's right. Right now, more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in those extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. It's the number right above my head, 313-530-1698, or head to SwissINS.com. Also coming up this Sunday, folks, you can join us at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street, for the best Lions pregame show, better than the flagship could provide you. Come join us, enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at the Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward Sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward in Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins, it's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about KDK Law. Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on your screen or call 248-971-0476. 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
It's the New Holland Post Show featuring Stick and Answer, and it's immediately following the game. As soon as the game's over, you can give all your opinions. You can dive into the chat, or you can call in. They will talk to you. They'll keep it popping. Also, it's from Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Taller, and then Soroki's. You know about those crispy chicken and the wings now. Hey, it's social. That's what's popping off. So if you're on the east side, pull up. If you're on the west side, go to the east side and pull up. It is the Stick and Anson post-game show.
Welcome back. All right, now it's time for our pick segment, guys. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is KG time. I was going to come up with some fancy name.
Just living
I was going to come up with some fancy name, but
He's
I decided
opened up
against it.
a six-length lead on me.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Side note, man, Ryan, there are 6 things going on in LA tonight at the same time, all on the 110 and the 405.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Jeez, Lakers game, USC game, East LA Classic, concert, World Series.
A high school game, too. They reported that this is probably going to be the worst traffic jam they've seen in years.
That's tough.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm looking, they got like a little map.
You couldn't pay me to live there.
No, for real.
That's why I never liked it in the beginning. I like LA now, certain parts of LA or California, but
How far is LA to San Diego?
LA, San Diego is about 2 hours. Man, about an hour.
I could live
hour and 45.
I could live in San Diego.
There you go.
If I was going to pick a spot in California.
Look at you.
That's
You
where I
live
rate
in OC? OC's in between both. You live in Orange County, you're probably 55 minutes to LA, you're about an hour and 10 from San Diego.
Oh, that's where it's at.
But guess what? It costs.
Yeah.
The OC
All right,
costs.
let's kick it off. Here we go. First game up. It's
All
the
right.
Green Bay Packers on the road to Jacksonville, taking on the Jaguars. The Jags are getting 4 at home.
That's crazy.
Ryan, Packers
Duval.
-4.
Crazy.
I'm going to go with
Duval.
I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Duval.
Y'all is wild.
I'm going to go with Jacksonville, and this line cannot be right.
Y'all making
They're
it
plus
easy
4.
for me.
Jacksonville is plus
Yes.
4. Yes. I'm
What
gonna
did
go
I write? Did I write on -4?
Yeah, yeah, -4.
Yeah, but I said
I
plus
ignored
4.
that. I ignored
I said
that.
Packers are favored.
I'm going with Jacksonville in this one, just because.
I already told you what I said. I called it 2 hours ago.
Y'all, wow. Give me the Packers, man.
Okay.
Pete,
Yeah, I'm going to jump on the Packer bandwagon for that one there, Tommy.
I'm just double checking the number here.
Just looking right here.
It's 4.
It's no
Packers
way
are
the Jags
4.
are favored.
Packers
No
are
way.
4.
And these numbers brought to you by our friends at Caesar Sportsbook,
Yes, sir.
by the way. Thanks for the
out.
graph.
Absolutely. And
tell you like
Packers, I will take them as well.
Y'all can have the Packers. Me and Ryan and Monty ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life.
That's
taking
right.
the Jags.
Y'all can kick
We're
it
going to
right
be
in the
dying
loser
pretty
line.
soon.
Kick it
All
in
right.
the loser line.
Tom Brady and the gang are going to be in Washington, D.C. It's the Bears off the bye week at Washington. Washington is a 3-point underdog at home. Braylon.
I'm taking the Bears. No Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Not official
Marcus
yet.
Mariota.
Not official.
Give me Jaden Daniels if he plays.
No.
You're right.
That's
you gotta
not
pick.
fair.
You gotta pick now.
This is the pick.
But that's not fair.
Because this is what the line is. But you're basically picking the
All right, that's fine. I feel like it's not that serious to me. I'm sorry. Give me the Bears. Take the Bears.
Pete.
If Jaden Daniels is not going to play, then I'm going to have to take a chance and just take the Bears, man. +3. It'd be one of those
He's like
games where they
14
just...
games ahead. He's like, no, you got to make your pick.
This would be one of those weird games the Bears win on the road. Tommy, go ahead.
When you call your
KG.
bookie, you don't tell him, hey, if this guy plays, give me this team.
But guess what? I don't have a bookie.
I know, but
So
our bookie is a Caesar
You
Sportsbook.
can't give me a bookie. I
You
don't
can't
have
call them and say, give me this or that. You got to pick one.
But also, I'm not going to make a bet until Sunday.
I understand it, but this is Sunday to us.
I understand you, but I'm just saying the logic.
Okay. I'll take the Bears as well. Kenny.
Now watch Jaden Daniels play right after this, man. Give me the other team.
I'll take
man.
the Bears no matter what.
Give me the Bears, man.
clean
Ryan.
sweep on the Bears. Clean
be
sweep
watched.
on the Bears.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels gonna play. They're gonna win. Watch.
Here we go.
Marcus
It's the
Mariota.
Eagles.
Yeah, if he plays, they win. But if he plays, they're probably a 3-point favorite.
Yeah.
Bears
So
are going to win no matter what.
Okay?
Eagles at the Bengals.
It's the easy one for
Bengals
me.
are a 3-point favorite.
I think the Bengals are about to go on a run.
I didn't ask you. Pete, you're up first.
Tell you what,
good.
Bengals are winless at home this season, just like the Cowboys. They're 0-3. The Bengals can't be winless at home. This is one of those weird victories. Give me the Bengals.
Kenny.
Don't put me on yet.
Why, you want to go last all the time?
Yeah, let me.
So you
Yeah,
can
I'm the
be
winner.
8-0?
I should go last. Yeah, I'm
He lost
passing it.
his
Come
dollar.
back to me.
No, you're not coming back.
Yeah, that's whack.
This ain't the Price is Right.
Give me the Eagles to cover, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel good about that. Give me the Eagles to cover.
This is the easy one. I'm going with the Eagles. The Bengals defense stinks.
It does.
Ooh, yeah. I
Ryan.
didn't think about that. I wrote down Cincinnati on my sheet, so I got to stick with them, but I forgot about how bad their defense
So they'll
was.
win 41-38.
There you go.
I'll take the Bengals.
It's probably a shootout.
Bills at the Seahawks. Seahawks, a home underdog They are getting 3. Kenny?
Give me. You said that the Seahawks are getting 3?
Yes, and they're home.
Give me the Seahawks. Man.
Ooh.
I'll take the Bills. Pete?
This is really weird. Amari Cooper actually plays well in Seattle. Give me the Bills on the road in Seattle.
Ryan?
I'm going to go with Buffalo.
And Bray, you got the dollar pick here.
I'm taking all the birds this week, so I'm taking the Seahawks.
Okay. Next up, here's another bird for you.
I'm already taking
Falcons down south, even further south. They're in Tampa Bay, taking on the Bucks. Bucks have no receivers. They're a home underdog, getting 2.5. Braylon?
I like Baker Mayfield, but I don't choose people because I like him. I'm going with the Falcons.
Ryan?
Falcons.
Kenny?
Gotta go Falcons. The Bucks have no receivers.
I'll take Atlanta as well. Pete, you got last bid. You could be the only one to take Tampa.
You wow. They have no
I can't take Tampa, man. Give me the Falcons. I can't be that
It's another
crazy.
clean sweep. Ready?
Another one.
Colts at the Texans. Texans are a 5-point favorite. Not 5.5.
I don't like that spread.
But they're 5-point favorites.
I don't like it.
Pete?
Houston is going to dominate this game. Give me Houston.
Kenny?
Give me the Texans, man.
This spread looks too low for me.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'll take the Colts.
I wanted to take the Colts.
Braylon?
Colts.
Ryan?
I'm going to go with the Fighting Joe Flacco's. The Colts.
The spread looks low, don't it?
Well, this was the matchup of the division championship last year in Indianapolis.
This was your game. You called this game.
Yeah, this was the game.
This was the game where what happened?
A 4th down drop that would have won the game. And
For Indy.
Indianapolis would have won the division championship and gone to the playoffs, and Houston would have went home.
Minshew was the quarterback.
Gardner Minshew. Yep.
Here we go. The Sunday Night Classic. If this was 1991, this was the game of the year. The Cowboys at the 49ers.
2 years ago, this is game of the year.
49ers, a 4-point favorite. I'll go first. I'll take the Cowboys. Ryan.
Dallas.
Braylon.
They just don't have the horses. I mean, Debo's in the hospital. Ayuk's hurt. McCaffrey's hurt. And I'll go with Dak over
And the Cowboys
Hurdy.
still
Kittle's hurt too. No, Kittle's good. He's like the only one they have. Man, it's a tough one.
Is it?
Give me the 49ers.
Kenny.
Never picking the Cowboys. Never give me the 49ers. I don't care how they look.
And Pete.
Gotta give me the Cowboys, dude. They're 3-0 on the road. They're winless at home. They gotta get their wins somewhere. They're gonna win in San Fran.
And finally, our game. It's the biggest spread of the week.
Who'd you take?
I took the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Titans are here at Ford Field against the Lions. Lions are giving 11.
That's
a straight up
spread.
11. We'll go around the room. Ryan, lead it off.
I'm going to go with Tennessee. Feels like a
letdown.
31-21 game.
You think Tennessee can score 21?
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. 30-20.
You got Tennessee.
Yeah, I got Tennessee. Just cause.
Right.
Forward down the field, the team, the Lions will not. Come on, like the Lions about to blow them into.
Can I change my
obscenity.
pick?
Yes.
Yeah, Detroit.
About to blow them into obscurity.
Are you doing the Leos?
I'm going.
Yeah,
with,
Detroit.
I'm going with the Fighting Leos as mass cause.
Detroit.
Pete.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Here comes
Reindeer,
another
he couldn't
genius.
play any reindeer games, and mayonnaise sucks. So I think that the Lions are going to cream the Tennessee Titans' paws. And I really honestly think
I got another prediction.
Sione Vaki will get his first career NFL touchdown in this game.
You know what? You know what? I'm a double that. Hendon Hooker will get his first NFL career touchdown in this game.
Wow.
What do you mean? Wow, this team sucks.
No, they
Bray?
don't.
Like the Lions are putting 40 on good teams.
Bray.
That's
Bray.
why I said,
Okay,
wow.
well they put 40 on Brian Flores.
No,
Bray.
big facts.
Like, I'm just
Bray.
saying.
Bray, let's play. Hendon Hooker throws in the flat,
To
hitting
Vaki.
Sione Vaki, and then there you go. How
I
about
like
that?
it. I like
Y'all should put money.
Naz,
on
go ahead, buddy.
Y'all
Taking
won't.
the Honolulu blue and silver.
Listen, you never trust a double-digit spread in the NFL. This is the only exception. Forward down the field, baby.
Forward down the field.
There
Lions
you go,
team
folks.
that will not yield.
Brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports Network.
Clean sweeps, Detroit, Atlanta, Chicago.
20 to 10. That might get Pete the win.
Yeah,
20 to 10, because they ain't scoring more than 10.
There you go.
Attaboy.
Guys, World Series starts tonight. Yankees, Maz, you're donning your pullover. Garrett Cole against Jack Flaherty
I know that guy.
tonight. How about it? World Series Game 1. Here it is. Two biggest markets, $977. Cheapest face price ticket. Face value.
Man.
Get you in section 304.
Shit, which is high as hell.
It's going to be, I hope it's going to be a good series. You know, the great Fernando Valenzuela died earlier this week. They have the Fernando patch on their shoulders. I think that it's going to be a hard match for the Yankees. I hope they could win. If they do win, I think it goes 7. If the Dodgers win, I think it goes 6. Go Yanks. Go Bronx.
All the networks are going to be very upset, and so are the sponsorships. I think it's going to be a sweep.
Really?
I'm going with the Dodgers.
I kind of think the Yankees win tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what I think that's only based on Jack Flaherty and what happened to him in the NLCS.
Yeah.
Jack Flaherty looked. He
got rocked.
He got rocked, man. If you give Garrett
He's getting
Cole
into it with the players and the coaches and the people in the locker room. I mean, the dugout.
I mean, Garrett Cole has been here before.
True.
So I'm going to go with Cole tonight. I think the Yankees win tonight. I think they do.
I hope you're right. I will say this. Shohei bats leadoff most of the time. That's fine. I'll pitch to him. But if he comes up with a man on base, I am walking him.
Yeah,
I am not going to give him a chance to ignite this team, to do his little hip shake that they do. I cannot stand what they do. I mean, I've been watching them all year. I'm sick and tired of them. Joe Davis is calling them. He's their play-by-play guy. Everything is going for them. I hope the Yanks can hang in there and beat them.
Here's a real cliche question, but I think it's a good one. Who's the pressure on? Is it the Los Angeles Dodgers have paid for Ohtani and everything else, or
Yankees haven't won in 15 years?
And that's where I was lying.
Exactly.
Yankees in the pressure. So is the Yankees for you?
Of course.
Did you hear what Aaron Boone said about that, though? 15 years? Oh, man, you got to go back and check it out.
So, I know. Did they blame the Houston
Houston
series?
Astros.
Yeah. Brian Cashman said
Brian
that.
Cashman.
Cashman said, back in 17, they cheated. And they did.
He's like, I don't, because he said it's been 15 years for you since you've been to the World Series. He's like, I don't accept that. He's like, we were going up against some cheaters. So, no, it hasn't been 15 years by my count.
Also, too, Cashman, shut up. Because at the end of the day, you haven't got there. You're absolutely correct. They cheated. They cheated you guys. You guys should have won.
Who knows if they would have won.
Exactly. And that's my
Speaking of the guy that's been cheating baseball for her, by buying everything for.
Yeah. Well, the Dodgers make the Yankees look like the Sisters of the Poor.
Well,
that's crazy.
I will tell you that. But please, walk Ohtani.
Maz, I want to get you riled up before it's over. Why won't you watch the comeback?
Don't even mention that name.
Too close to the end of the show.
2004, I will never talk about it.
I'm watching
it
right now. Like,
that is garbage TV. Do not watch that. Watch the Aaron Hernandez story.
KG, I feel like you wanted to get in on baseball.
No, I was just saying the Dodgers have cashed in before the Yankees. I would say the pressure is on the Yankees to finally get this done. Because they're always one of the better teams in the AL, and they always choke it off.
Don't nobody count that 50-game season.
Listen, it don't matter. You have the 1A best player in baseball. Y'all need to get it done. But with that being said, I do think the Dodgers will ultimately get this series. Yankees win tonight, but the Dodgers probably going to
so twice. They named it nice.
There you go.
I was there 43 years ago.
I said that
backwards.
backwards.
Look at you. All right, guys. Bray, get us out of here, my friend.
Been a hell of a week, man. Look, enjoy the weekend. There's a lot going on. It's a sports dream. And also, just watch the World Series and see what you got, man. But if you're going to make bets, make it right there. KG, Pete, Tom Mazaway, my man Ryan Ermanni. I see Justin over there with the Wings hat. Shout out to the Wings, by the way. 3 in a row. They're on the heater, and they also play tonight. Check out the
Pistons at the Cavs tonight.
Ooh.
Go Pistons.
JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, he's returning to Cleveland.
Look at that.
Go Pistons, go Blue.
I'm taking the Pistons, and I'm taking the Red Wings. We'll see you guys later. Go Blue!
Go Blue!